Welcome back. You're watching the Small and Mid Cap Show. I'm Mahima Vajrajani. Well, Transformers and Rectifiers is one company that is in focus today, and we are joined by Mr. Satyen Mamtora, Managing Director at Transformers and Rectifiers, who joins us now. Welcome to the show, sir. My first question to you is that, QIP raising is on the cards. 500 crores is what you're raising. I want to understand that what is the plan going forward? How are you going to deploy these funds?
Good morning, Mahima. The funds that we are going to receive from the QIP, we are planning organic growth in renewable energies, mainly solar transformers and transformers for green hydrogen. We are also expanding our plant for electric arc furnace and rectifiers. Backward integration expansion is also in the cards. And we are basically looking at manufacturing tanks and larger bushings and everything.
Mr. Mamtora, earlier in your conversation in the conference call, you had also indicated some inorganic growth opportunities going forward. Can we understand what are the kind of areas that we are looking forward over here?
We are currently looking at some inorganic growth wherever an opportunity is available. We are looking at acquiring some plants or maybe investing in some plants.
Understood. Point taken, sir. So, I'll shift focus to your order book now. Your order book currently stands at around 2582 crores. Now, what is the general timeline that you usually execute your orders in? And I just want to understand across products, how do you execute your order book?
So, any transformer which is below 132 kV, from the manufacturing lead time is almost about 20 to 25 days. Any transformer which is above means 220 kV, any EHV transformer, we take about 55 to 60 days to manufacture. So that is the lead time. The orders that we receive are mainly deliverable from 9 months, 11 months to 18 months. So whatever orders that we have are, many of them will be executable this year, and many of them will be executable the next year.
Mr. Mamtora, I'll stick to the order book over here. You reported about a 72% growth in the last fiscal. What is the kind of growth that we can expect in this fiscal going forward? What is the kind of overall order book that we are looking at? And where are we seeing this order inflows coming in from?
So mainly all these orders would come from majorly EHV transformers. That would be PGCIL, likes of Adani, KEC, who are large EPC providers, and the 132 kV and below transformers would come from electricity boards or smaller EPC providers.
Point taken. I also want to understand in terms of your exports. Your exports have risen by 117% YOY, and the contribution to revenue is now at 11%. But going forward from a long-term perspective, let's say by FY25, FY26, what kind of export footprints are you looking at? And from this 11% contribution, where do you expect this to go?
So there is a huge demand for solar transformers in countries like US, Europe, and Africa. So a lot of export orders will come or are in the way of coming to us. And FY26, we can look at 25% to 30% growth in export orders.
Point taken, so 15, the growth that you've given over here. But I also want to shift focus now to the kind of capex that we are looking forward to FY25. What are your capex plans going forward?
So we are, like I said before, we are expanding in solar transformers, green transformers, renewable transformers. We are expanding the facility for electric arc furnace transformers and rectifier transformers. We are also expanding, doing some backward integration and expanding our tank manufacturing facility. There is a huge shortage worldwide for tanks. So we are expanding that plant, and we also expect to do some exports of tanks also from that plant.
I take your point, but I want to understand that with all these projects into pipeline, what is the kind of capex number that you're looking at by FY25, and how much of this capex will be done from the QIP that you've raised?
So as given in the mandate, most of this capex will be used. Most of this money that is coming from the QIP will be used in the capex, and some for debt reduction, and some for working capital.
Can you help me quantify also that how much of that will be used for capex?
So let's say about 360 crores, 400 crores would be in terms of capex expansions.
Understood. Okay. And so if I may ask, going forward in FY25, what is your revenue target look like with all these orders in pipeline then?
So FY25 we are looking at 2,000 crore plus target, and 27, 28 we are looking at around 5,000 crores. 27 we are looking at 5,000 crores.
And now with 2,000 crore of revenue target, what are the kind of margins that we are looking forward for FY25?
The margins would stay stable at around 14 to 15%. I don't see any much growth in the margins currently.
All right. I also want to ask you about the current bid pipeline that you have, that is about 17,000 crore of bids which are under negotiation. Now this is pertaining to the 220 kV to 765 kV of power transformers. What is the kind of opportunity that we are looking forward from this one?
So historically, if you look at our bid ratio is somewhere around 4 to 5% or about 7%. So that is what we are, that is what kind of bids we will win.
Understood. And in terms of all your products, I want to understand which one is more margin accretive, and what are the strategies to maybe going forward to increase your margins, and what will be the levers?
So if you look at our solar transformers are more margin lucrative, our electric arc furnace transformers are more margin lucrative, and that is the reason why we are expanding in this region, so that we can suffice the needs of the country, and also do some expand in exports as well.
Understood. And lastly, in terms of your revenue breakup, are you expecting any kind of change in that in terms of railway, industrial, and exports and others in FY25?
No, I don't think that there will be much change in terms of revenue breakup. In terms of EHV is going to be the main contributor towards EHV transformers is going to be the main contributor towards our revenues.
And also the focus has remained on reducing your working capital burden over here. So what is the kind of working capital days that we are looking forward to FY25?
We are currently working at 65 to 70 days of working capital. Our target is to reduce it to 45 days, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mamtora, for sharing those insights. But with that, that's all we have on the show for now. But stay tuned to NDTV Profit for more news and updates.